Endless Hustle is presented by Routine. Routine helps you unlock optimal health and daily performance by leveraging AI, in-home testing, and the latest in digital health tools to create a completely personalized micronutrient formula full of vitamins, minerals, and specialty compounds precisely dosed for your body based on your unique DNA, blood tests, and lifestyle habits. Visit routine.co to join. I'm Arthur Cade, BroBible's Endless Hustle. All right, Steven Alexander. First of all, congrats. Awesome show. I'm a wrestling fan. So here's the big question. You guys are both great athletes. I love Vikings. I love Arrow. You do some crazy shit on those shows. How much respect do you have for the professionals after what you just had to do for this show?
Tremendous.
It's crazy, man. I mean, you know, these guys are, I think about how wrecked I'd be after a day of shooting where we're taking everything, we're breaking it up, and we're doing these little bursts, right? Because, you know, we're not filming it like you film a wrestling pay-per-view. We're getting in close, we're making it much more stylized, makes us look cooler, you know, hide some of our deficiencies. But I think about how wrecked I'd be. These guys, you know, getting to know Cody Rhodes, he talk about the loop that you go on with WWE, which is get to a city, you might do a show on Friday night, but you do a show on Saturday night, go to the next city, you do a show on Sunday night, you go to the next city, you do a TV taping on Monday and a TV taping on Tuesday, you get home on Wednesday, you hit the fucking road again on Friday, and you know, you're sleeping in hotel beds, you're in rental cars, you're on planes, you're never getting a chance to heal. The only time that you get vacation is if you get hurt, and you just to think what these guys put themselves through, it's just outrageous. It's outrageous.
Alexander, it sounds like the season of Vikings right there. Everything Steven just described. Pretty much all the shit you guys have to go through.
For sure. But let me just say that speaking from somebody who wasn't super informed about the wrestling world and having done it now or a version of it for months, man, there's nothing quite like it. The amount of athleticism that goes into this sport is tremendous. And man, we had to build our bodies and our minds up to a place where it could kind of take that kind of abuse for maybe 5 minutes. I can't imagine what it would be like for 40 minutes. So, I mean, I have the utmost respect, and we just wanted to make sure that the wrestling community knew that we had put in the work. So we took it really seriously and we trained our asses off.
So I think about it as an interviewer, I enjoy this process so much more when I get to chat to people that I'm just an enormous fan of, whether it's actors, athletes, billionaires, whatever. I'm guessing for an actor, when you get to make a project of something that you're a fan of, rather than let's just call it like some drama, but you get to do shit about wrestling, like something really cool. How does that increase the enjoyment level for what you guys get to do?
Well, I mean, the thing that I love most about acting is that, you know, it never feels like work. You know, it doesn't mean you're not tired at the end of the day. It doesn't mean that it can't be grueling, or that it's not occasionally monotonous, or, you know, the whole like hurry up and wait thing that you always hear. But when you get to merge something that you're passionate about with another thing that you're passionate about, it's just like I don't know. It's like an orgy of personal fulfillment. It's just fantastic.
That needs a t-shirt, an orgy of personal fulfillment. I love it.
I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. You know, and that's something that I really grew to love. You know, wrestling is something that I've really grown to love and appreciate. And it's just like any form of escapism or art, you know, it's there to inspire, and it's this incredible, colorful world. And the one thing I would say about this show that really resonated with me was when I first read the scripts, like, even though I didn't know a lot about wrestling, I love this show. So I believe that if done right, we're going to have a great audience. But I wanted the wrestling fans to know, just we're shining a light, and we're bringing you into the ring like it's never happened before, and showing you the grind. And that's the stories that Adam Copeland and Dwayne Johnson would always tell me when I was, you know, what it was like behind the scenes. And finally, you get to experience that, and further experience it through these really, really dynamic characters.
Steven, I know you're a big hockey fan. I'm also a big hockey fan. You're a Toronto guy. You grew up loving the Leafs. Speaking of heels, who is your greatest and favorite NHL heel of all time, and why?
Ooh.
Well, I did grow up liking the Leafs, but we kind of divorced, and I got season tickets to the Kings when I moved to LA. I'd say that the greatest heel, growing up, it might have been Jeremy Roenick. I hated Jeremy Roenick, but a guy that I watched that you can recognize when he's on your team, you love him. When he's on another team, you hate him. And I loved Matt Green on the Kings. He's a defenseman. And in both of their runs to the Cup in 2012 and 2014, I just watched the hatred that he would evoke from the opposing fan base, and the way that just how rough he was, and the cheap shots that he'd get in. And I'd watch him try to blade guys in the neck, right? And I just think to myself, man, I'm glad this guy's on my team. And frankly, if I ever meet him, I'm going to be very deferential because he scares the shit out of me.
Isn't it great to be a heel, though, by the way? Isn't there? I mean, it's cool to be the good guy, but there's got to be something freaking great about being the heel in anything you do.
It's a transformative experience. Normally when you want to just walk up to someone and tell them they're stupid, you can't do it. You can do it as a heel. And it's just, I don't know. It's just all those things that societal norms don't allow because they're not acceptable. You get to do as a heel in the ring. And no one can say anything. They can boo, but who gives a shit?
So Alexander and Steven, one of the main reasons that I started this show was to talk to successful people across all genres about the principles and mentality that help make them successful. So my question to both of you, and I'll start with you, Alexander, what are some of the things you incorporate in your life, the habits that help you elevate in your craft?
Man, first off, I gotta start watching your show because it sounds freaking amazing. I love that. Steven and I were talking about this the other day, like in our line of work, it's such a gift to just be working, to let alone be working on something you're proud of. And to get to that level and that point, it just takes persistence. But persistence comes from loving what you do, because, and Steve Jobs said this too about Apple. He's like, if you really truly love something, at this point in our careers, any sane person would have quit. You hear 1,000 no's, and then you're sent to the middle of nowhere where you know nobody, and that's your life. It can be lonely at times, and it can be this, but you sacrifice all of it so that you can do something you love. And I think that the reason we're so passionate about a show like Heels is because it's an amalgamation of all this time and effort, and suddenly, once again, we're on a show that we are so proud to be a part of, and that's so fulfilling. But it really is persistence. And for me, it's always been a thing for myself is just going, you cast all these lines out there and see which one bites. But at the end of the day, if you trust it's going to happen, just never how it's going to happen or when it's going to happen, you're going to be okay. But don't forget to be grateful, because gratitude transcends everything. And at the end of the day, when you are sick, what is the one thing you want in this world more than anything? Just to be healthy. Yeah. And remember that. Why is it that suddenly when we have everything, we want more? I just think that to me is I just try to, and it's a practice just to remind myself how freaking lucky we are to just be here.
Steven, how do you continue to elevate?
I think about what would make my kid proud of me. I think about just what would make my wife and my kid and my friends and my family proud of me. Be it in acting, be it in philanthropy. I'm not doing it for the adoration of others, but I want my kid to be proud that I'm her dad, and my wife to be proud that I'm her partner. Outside of that, everyone else is it's like Jack says in the first episode, or sort of like he says, to paraphrase, outside of that, nobody else's opinion matters. And know your audience, know why you're doing what you do and who you're doing it for, and put an honest effort into it, and let the chips fall where they may.
Gentlemen, congrats on the show. I hope everybody watches it. I love the preview episodes I saw. Congrats. And it's been a pleasure to chat with both of you.
Thanks, man. Dug the questions. That was cool.
Thanks, brother. Take care, guys.